What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Real Rundown, the podcast where we talk about movies, TV shows, anything that we've been watching. We're here this week to talk about some Halloween monster movies. We're going to do a little bit of a draft. We're going to go through 12 movie categories and pick the best ones and sort of debate which one is the best one for that category. It's a little confusing, but I'll go through the rules in a little bit. Let me introduce you to Paul, Pedro, and Scott. What's up, guys?
Feeling good about it.
Game on. Game
I'm excited for this.
on.
Paul's been excited for this. Paul, I know you've done your homework. He wants to go for the title.
I have a bunch of good picks. I'm excited. I've been watching a lot of scary movies, getting ready for this.
Scott, how's your pick? How are you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm looking forward to see if we can remember and follow the rules.
Oh, the rules are simple.
I will let our listening public decide.
So normally on the show, we review a movie, we talk about what we've been watching lately. But today we're going to have a little bit of a special episode. We're going to do a monster movie draft. So let me just cover the rules real quick. So each host is going to select a monster movie category. And in that category, they're going to pick their favorite movie. Once that movie and category is picked, it is off limits for the rest of the draft. Now, once somebody makes a selection, then everyone kind of votes on whether that was a good selection or not. If it is a good selection, that person is awarded 3 points. Somebody can then either steal or let it go. But if someone tries to steal, they present an alternative to that selection. And if the co-hosts agree that that's a better selection, then that person gets 2 points. If not, then the original pick gets 3 points. It might be a little confusing, but it'll make sense. And then at the end, whoever wins. There's no prize, but this is just for fun. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully this is something that we continue to do in the show in the coming weeks.
So it's majority, right? Majority, not unanimous.
Yeah, it'll be majority. Not necessarily unanimous. We have already sort of randomized the order. Scott is going to go first. Then I'm going to go next, followed by Pedro, and then finally Paul will go. Now, Scott, you're up first. You can pick any of the 12 categories. And the categories, just so the audience knows, are zombies, witches, vampires, werewolves, ghosts, demons, masked killers, evil children, aliens, cursed dolls, sea monsters, and madmen. Wide range.
This was a great idea because if you listen to other pods or YouTube videos or whatever, it's always top 10 scary movies. And this is we have football season going on right now. And it was such a cool idea of incorporating a draft aspect because maybe 3 or 4 of us would all go for the same top movie. And it gets kind of boring. This, you're kind of forced to pick within a category and have to pick a movie within it. I'm telling you, man, between I don't know if you guys can see it because of the thing, between Christmas and Halloween.
He's showing us a document printed out. I don't know how many pages it is.
This is my list right here, But between this and Christmas, this is my favorite times of the year.
Halloween is pretty special. You can see every streaming app you have right now has their Halloween bundle out on full display. And we've kind of been just, thinking about it, enjoying the season. I've watched a couple of movies this past week that I considered for the categories and some that I just needed to refresh 1 or 2 to validate my choice. And then others that I was just curious about. Okay, cool. Should we kick it off? Scott looks nervous right now. You have the first pick, sir.
Well, I was just playing along with the nervous thing because I'm not nervous. I was very strategic on selecting the category. And the category I'm going to pick is masked killers.
Oh,
okay. I would say masked killers, probably one of the favorite categories, probably one of the most contested categories, Scott. That's potentially a great pick, potentially a risky pick, because I know Pedro is coming out swinging with this one. So what is your pick?
I don't think he doesn't look like he's swimming.
No, he might
swinging. His arms are down. He's not swinging at the moment. He's not swinging. He looks quite relaxed. Wanted to know why Bruno's having me delay my pick.
Go ahead. Let's see it.
I would say Halloween, the Rob Zombie movie.
Oh,
Okay. Great pick. Tell us why that pick. Why the Rob Zombie version?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
It's probably the only movie I've seen that would fit into that category, and I knew it was a category everyone would probably pick. That's probably why. But I thought it was. I enjoyed the movie. Did not watch. I cannot confirm or deny. I watched it in the past 5 days. It was probably one of the more entertaining movies I found in the list of the top 10. But I thought it was. I thought it would be a movie that we would all agree would be quite good because it looked quite good, and it was good.
hell no. Hell no.
No?
No way.
I think
I'll be.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, here's the thing. I'm going to step away for 15 minutes, and Paul can explain to us why he didn't like it. Go ahead.
No, it's not. I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was okay. But out of the best, like, I don't know. I can't say it's the best. No way. Not for Math Killers.
it's not on my list. I thought he was going to go with the original John Carpenter, which is on my list. But okay, so are we giving him that?
That would have been a good pick. The original John Carpenter Halloween.
Are we giving him that, Paul? It sounds like
I
you
want
might
to
have
steal.
something
I
interesting.
got. Oh man,
It's
I don't know
early.
if I want to use it right away. Pedro looks
early.
mad intimidating right now too, man. He's just sitting there in the shadows. I'm scared he's gonna pop out and be like, "I'm stealing this."
Let's just be clear that Pedro is sitting on the floor on stones in front of a haunted house where it looks like they haven't gotten the front gate set up because it keeps on opening and closing and it looks like it's stalled. But anyway, I guess, are we going on to Pedro on its background?
I'm gonna have to steal. I gotta steal this one.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got, Paul?
All right. There's a couple good ones. I think the original John Carpenter Halloween is like definitely a top one for mass killers. But for me, I gotta go with Scream. Scream, when it
that's a
first
good
came
one.
out,
Yep.
like that changed the game. If you had said the original Halloween, I wouldn't have contested it. I think that might be like a little bit of step above, but not that
You
not that
didn't.
other Rob
you-
Zombie one. No way.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should have been clear and said Halloween, and you could have tried to guess which one of the 9 I was talking about.
I would have assumed the first one because I
Yeah, I
had
would've
that
been-
on my list as well. I wasn't 100% sure that I was gonna go with that. I also had a surprise pick for that category. Well, before we go in, I guess Pedro and Pedro, do you want to vote for? I think Scream is a better pick than the Rob Zombie Halloween. Even though I did like the Rob Zombie, like I didn't hate it. I know when that movie came out, it was pretty divisive. But I did enjoy it. I think he did a sequel too. That was all right. It was entertaining too. But Scream is a classic, obviously. So
I think
I'd go
Scream
with that.
changed the game. Like Scream, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget, like, the call was coming from inside the house. Like
Mhm.
right away, there was like, they had a big name actress and they killed her off like right away. They threw you for a loop in the first scene. It was such a great, horror movie. And it set up a bunch of really good sequels. Like maybe you could say maybe like 3 or 4
Questionable
fell off.
sequels. I wouldn't say they're really good sequels, but yeah.
But I think they started picking up again. I think like, the last couple that came out were really good. But I think that really changed that game.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a better pick. Pedro, thoughts?
I think it's a better pick too. But I also, are we allowed to steal from a steal?
Damn, a steal from a steal.
Damn.
Oh, right in the first pick. What is
Inception?
going on right now? Inception.
Yeah, why not?
If you do it one more time, you're gonna have to do a physical challenge.
Well, because number 1 on my list was Halloween, and I think Scream is better than Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I can't let this category be finalized without
All
the
right, how about
original
this?
Halloween being
I'll
the
I'll
top pick.
retract my steal because I do think Halloween is a better movie.
Hold on.
You cannot retract, my friend.
If we don't want to do a
hold
steal, then we'll
Wait,
just
wait.
save it for the end. Then
This
I
is what
guess
I
No, I
thought.
like it. I
do
like
the-
it. It's late. It elevates the conversation, I think, and I think it is fun. I didn't see that coming.
Can we
I
retract?
didn't. He
Can
was
we?
chilling in the shadows and he sprung out, man. He was like, "Can I steal a steal?" Because I'm about to do it.
Since I went first, can we retract Paul's entire opinion, which means retract his entire opinion, which means my movie selection is still is we can rewind it. It means my pick is still number one.
I think. uh,
Just a
So hold
thought.
on. It tightens up the vote. I guess it just. Am I the only one voting now?
Yeah, that's why I think I should retract. Like, I think Pedro's pick of Halloween is better. So this way we at least have 2 votes to cast. You know what I mean? Because then I can't vote, Pedro can't vote, Scott can't vote. So you're the last vote. That's it.
Yeah, I do vote for Pedro's. I think it's a great argument, but I also had Halloween on my list. I did consider Scream, obviously. So I think
and
yeah,
we are only allowed 2 steals, just to make that clear. So I used if we're gonna go with this, then that means I used one up.
yeah, you use one. Paul, you get your steal back.
Nice, nice. So wait, now is that 2 points for Pedro or 3?
2.
Okay.
So you get 2 for the steal, 3 for
Yeah.
the win.
Damn, Scott, great first category, man.
I felt like that had to be the winner of the category because I feel like that movie just
It's like
it just set it for every other movie after that. That was gonna be that type of movie in that genre. You know, it just with the
I mean,
music, with the character, it just set it up for everything else that came after that.
the original Scream girl,
yeah,
Jamie Lee
yeah.
Curtis.
It's in the name.
I had Happy Death Day as just like as a sleeper.
Yeah.
Sleeper.
That was my top 3. It was Scream, Happy Death Day, and Halloween. That was my top 3.
Okay. All right, Pedro, 2 points. Board 0. And Pedro, you're up. If I'm.
Wait, did I get my 1 point?
Oh no, I'm up.
Did I get a point?
You do not get a point. You do not get a point, my friend. Okay, looking at the categories.
I have 2 steals.
Masked Killers is off. I'm actually kind of glad that one's off because it's a one that's really hotly contested. So
I wanted to get it out of the way. We got it out of the way. Thank goodness.
So I'm going through the categories. Demons. I feel like werewolves was tough, man. That was a tough category for me. I'm gonna go zombies, just because I got a couple of really great picks. I feel like my third pick is gonna get stolen, so I'm gonna go with 28 Days Later, the 2002 Danny Boyle movie, Cillian Murphy. Great movie. It's not just like a horror zombie movie. It's also like a really good drama. It's also extremely well acted, set in London. I think it was one of the first movies to have like the fast zombies where they just like chase you. And yeah, man, it was one of those that's also like kind of based on science. Like there's a virus and it's changing people. That movie left a lasting impression on a lot of people. And that's my number one, 28 Days Later.
I don't think I could watch this movie because of like the past 4 years. It would just be it's difficult for you to watch movies that are too realistic. But yes, it seems like a movie that would scare everyone out of their minds. But what does everyone else think?
I think it's a great pick. That was going to be my pick for the zombie genre. It was
Oh.
because 28 Days Later, 28 weeks later, and now they're going to make 28 years later.
Yeah.
Been-
Yep.
So I
I
think
feel
that
like
was
they've been
like
talking
phenomenal.
about part 3 for over a decade now, and it's never happened.
No, but it's been greenlit, and they're already like they're starting to proceed with the
But I
movie.
feel like I read about that like
That
it was
green light is from
28
20
months
years
later
ago.
is gonna come out, and it never came out. But I agree that was gonna be my number 1 pick too. Actually, I think anyone that's seen that, or like anyone that was around when that came out, like I think it came out like 2004 or something, 5,
2002.
6. Yeah, they just anybody that witnessed that was like that was a game changer. So I think it's a good pick because it just it took a category that's been around forever,
Yeah.
took a movie genre that's been around forever, and just like revitalized it.
It turned it from like goofy horror and action horror to like a more serious kind of film. Different stakes. I want to just do some honorable mentions. I had Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. It was just I remember seeing that in theaters, and that movie anytime it was on TV or HBO anywhere, I always just watched it with Omar Epps, Ving Rhames. The opening scene is so good.
The one where they
I
have
had
to go
Army
in
of the
the
Dead.
Oh, that's the wait. Which one is
The
that?
new Zack Snyder one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one with Batista, right?
Yeah. Oh, and real
And
quick,
then I had
20 years later is actually scheduled to come out next year, and it was the movie that they shot with a bunch of adapted iPhone 15s's. That was what they
Really?
were talking about that they're going to release that they filmed with the iPhones. So it's set to release next year, 28 years later. Danny Boyle's back on. I think Cillian Murphy's back on.
Okay. Yeah, that should be good. Did you guys have any other picks for that? I also had Train to Busan. I think that a Korean film came out a few years ago. It's really good.
It's one of those movies that if you want to watch it, I don't think it's available to stream online.
It's not. Yeah, I was looking for it just to kind of catch up, and
Which
it's
one?
still not available.
28 Days?
Yeah, which is a bummer.
It's one of those movies that you have to find a physical copy of it, because even if you go on to Amazon, you can buy a Blu-ray for $94.51.
Damn.
Yeah, that might be one of the
Or a
movies that we
DVD
talked
for
about.
15. It's not in
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's in circulation.
Yeah, we talked about
It
the
must
movie
be out
rights
of print
being.
then. Must be out of print.
Yeah,
Must be
something
one of
with
those
the
that's out
movie
of print.
rights. Okay, next category.
Wait, I think you won that unanimously. No one's trying to steal it. You got the full 3 points on that one.
Yeah, I
Unless
scored
Scott
it.
has even if Scott has I guess doesn't matter. But Scott, you
Now
wanna add-
the thing is, if I want to steal, I have to give a selection, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well you can get it. You can take it.
Okay, I'll get the 3 points for that, and then Pedro, you're up next on the next category.
All right. Let me see. I got a few categories. I can go for like the easy, low-hanging fruit. Or I could go for like a sleeper that people might not have too many options in that category. So I don't know if I'm feeling risky or not. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Cursed Dolls, and I'm gonna say Child's Play, because I think that was the first, if I'm not mistaken, like at least that I seen Cursed Doll movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like a cursed doll, blah blah blah, here and there. Like the original Child's Play, it had a backstory. It had it was more than just a cursed doll. It was like this evil guy, this criminal killer guy, who did Haitian voodoo or something, and like transported his soul into this doll at a department store, and like
Yeah.
it's simple. It had some layers to it.
Yeah. Very adult, very scary. That came out when we were pretty young, so that was terrifying. This was one of the categories I kind of had trouble with.
And it
For
wasn't
me,
just to add it. Also, it wasn't there. It wasn't CG. There weren't like a lot of like computer effects and stuff like that, or crazy stuff that is now. I mean, I think recently it's become a popular genre again, and we're seeing a lot of other movies in that category. But I don't think anything compares to this.
They have the show too on Peacock, I think.
Yeah, the show's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I've
they have a show.
recommended it before.
I don't really have a better pick. This was also my number one pick. Like the last doll movie I saw was like The Puppet Master, something like that. That's also another 80s movie, but that, it's not nearly as good as, or doesn't have the same fingerprints on the genre that Child's Play does. Yeah, great pick. Little redheaded doll with freckles and a big ass knife. Like that was the box cover.
With a mean voice and a dirty
With-
mouth.
Yeah, with an adult voice. Yeah,
Now,
it's a great.
I'm not trying to steal this one. I'm not going to steal it because I had Child's Play, but it was my number 2 pick in this category. My number 1 pick was actually The Conjuring, but it was very, very close. It was tight because Conjuring was scary as hell.
Is that a doll in that?
Yeah, that's like, I think that's where Annabelle came from, right? Wasn't it The Conjuring?
Yeah, I did read that when I was reading up on Annabelle. She started off in The Conjuring. Good pick, Pedro. See what? Now you got the 3 points for the pick, and you got the 2 for the steal earlier. So you're at 5.
Damn.
Well, I just had to secure that one category because, like I said, I could go for the easy, low-hanging fruit, or I could go for the little tougher categories. But I need to get on the board with a head start.
Yeah, Pedro off to a huge lead.
I just want to check one. I just want to check one thing about the rules here. Now, is there a penalty given out if you take back a steal? I just want to check.
No.
Are you trying to put Paul in the negative?
No. I'm just trying. I just want to check this. I'm just confirming this whole scoring thing. Is there no penalty with retracting? Nothing about you, Paul. If anyone wants to retract a steal, is there any penalty, like at least -1 point taken away? I don't know. Just asking.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm asking for a friend, a viewer
No, because
question.
he didn't. Did we give that steal back?
Yeah,
I think he
Yeah,
lost
we
that
gave him a
steal.
steal.
No? We did.
No, we
Okay.
gave him a steal back.
Okay. All
We
right. So
took
you're
it
good.
back. We gave it back.
So it's all good. Paul, it's your turn. You're on the board, buddy.
I feel your pain, Pedro, because I don't know if I should go for the layup. Well, what I consider a layup, or just go for an odd one first and then jump in. All right, I got to go for this one. I got to go for Ghosts because this was fresh in my mind. Sixth Sense. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I feel
didn't
like
think
the
about
Sixth
that.
Sense, just changed the game. For a family movie, I would have gone Ghostbusters, but like scary and like really, it was really well done. The acting was amazing. And I just recently watched it again, and it still holds up, and it blew me away. And the reveal is still as like, that big twist. I'll never forget that. And I think you could ask a lot of people out there who are into movies, and that's a big plot twist that people won't soon forget. So I'm going with Ghosts, Sixth Sense, final answer.
That's good.
All right,
That's good.
hold on. Just to clarify, though, is that a horror movie? Are we sticking to just horror movies, or any movie in that genre in general? Because that's where it gets kind of tricky. I don't consider The Sixth Sense a horror movie, but
It's
I
not.
think it's a great pick and a great movie in that genre.
I think
It
it's a
did
great
have
pick.
some gruesome, like the ghosts coming to the kid. There was a burnt lady. There was another girl that was being poisoned, and she was sick
Yeah.
and chasing him. It is kind of a ghost story. It's like it is a horror.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the categories where the movie in that category isn't necessarily a scary horror movie,
Yeah, I didn't go into it thinking that each film had to be necessarily horror, but certainly have, just these elements in the movie. Even if it's like more of a thriller, more of an action movie, or maybe even a mystery. But it needed to have like some of these elements. I'm okay with that. That's a great pick. I didn't have that on my list. I do have a great alternative, but I think I'm gonna.
You're not going for the steal?
Let me see if I should go for the steal. I'm just trying to see. Okay, I'm definitely gonna save a steal for this one if I don't get that. No, I'm not gonna go for the steal yet. Scott ghosted for a second. Scott, what do you think of the pick? You stealing or you approve?
Well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking on Paul, but
Oh no.
Don't worry, Paul's got a million other movies. He's got a whole paper list of movies.
I don't want to make him go through his 900-page document to pick something different. But I would say that I was lingering around The Sixth Sense, so I will let him keep it.
Well, he will keep it unless you got something better.
Well, I don't think you want to know my pick.
Okay. Paul, okay, so the point is awarded to Paul there. The pick that I considered stealing with was Paranormal Activity. Just because that movie.
You should have thrown that in there. That was I think that would have been I mean, it's too late now. It doesn't count, but that would have been
just because strategically I have some other picks that I think might go over better. But Paranormal Activity was that handy cam film about this guy that like sets up a camera in his house because the wife thinks there's like some spooky activity going on, and then it gets it's just so scary.
That was a game changer. That led to at least 2 other movies with multiple sequels that were just like it. So
yeah. And then I had a bit of a sleeper pick. This movie called The Skeleton Key. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that with Kate Hudson.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
She plays like a nurse.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. I think maybe it was on HBO, but it's like about a nurse who stays in like looking after this old man in a plantation in New Orleans, and like she finds out like the house is haunted. Anyway, it's really good.
Did you guys ever see 13 Ghosts?
Is that the mansion one?
That's the one where they're in like that mansion, but it's all made out of glass.
Yeah,
that was like early 2000s movie, right?
Yeah, that one was a pretty fun watch.
Yeah, that's a good. These are all good honorable mentions. Honorable mention, if I could throw in The Fog by John Carpenter.
Oh,
yeah. I thought about that too.
That's a good movie too. It's got some eerie atmosphere. And Bruno, did we watch that together? Did we go to like a movie theater, like an indie theater? Was that with you or someone else?
That might have been someone else, but I did watch it for the first time pretty recently, like just a few years ago.
Okay, they had like a special showing at an indie theater. I don't even remember the name of or something. And I went to watch it with someone else. I don't remember who it was. I could have sworn it was you. But it was one of the theaters that has like a little like coffee bar and like a little book section on the second floor.
Was that the Metropolis on used to be like way downtown? I can't remember exactly.
That might be
near Chinatown, I think.
Yeah. Was that with you?
We went there to see something. I remember that place. I don't know if it was that.
I think that's the only movie I've ever gone to see there.
Okay, then there was that, yeah.
Yeah,
that is a cool movie.
That movie has great atmosphere, man.
Great atmosphere,
like, old ship, like sailors, ghosts coming into the town. Anyways, that'd make a great video game too.
Yeah. Okay, Pedro, Paul with the 3 points there. And we are kicking it back.
Are we gonna restart the order, or should we randomize the order again and make it interesting?
What we could do is sort of do like the reverse order now.
Oh, snake draft?
Yeah. Or unless you guys want to randomize it again.
It's up to you. I'm down for either
I'm down
one of
for
those.
whatever.
Scott?
If someone's able to keep track, I'm all for it.
I say
I'm
hit
sure.
random on random.org one more time.
Okay, I'm not gonna share my screen this time because I'm recording, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't.
Engage the Reminizer.
Okay. All right,
Thank the
new
good
order.
people at random.org.
So now Pedro will go first, followed by
Oh,
Scott,
man. I
followed
shouldn't
by
have said
Paul,
that then.
and me. So Pedro, Scott, Paul, and then me.
Oh
Wait,
man, I
is-
did
is
not want to
Pe-
go first, so this worked against me.
Wait, Pedro, do you want to retract the reordering? We can go back to the previous order.
No, no,
only
no.
move
I don't want
forward.
to. I don't want to retract.
Okay, just putting it out there. Go ahead.
Guys, give me a sec. Because I'm just looking at what's been taken off the list and what's left.
So round one is done. We have 3 rounds total. Round one is done.
Round
Right
one is
now,
done.
in the lead is Pedro with 5, me and Bruno tied with 3, and Scott with a donut.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Wait,
do you
what
got?
kind of what kind of donut is it?
The Simpsons one, pink with sparkles with sprinkles.
I rather have that. I rather have that than the points. I'll keep that.
Oh, shout out to Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror.
Love those. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
really
with
good.
one of the tougher categories and werewolves.
Oh, yes.
Just because I don't think there were a lot of good options for this. So I'm gonna go with a sleeper, and I'm gonna say Wolf with Jack Nicholson
Oh,
Wow.
as my top werewolf movie. Bruno, I see that look on your face, like you love that movie.
no, but that is a movie that I even forgot existed, dude.
You
Until
gotta
I
watch it again. If you haven't
until I
seen
saw
it,
the cover, I was like, how did I forget? Because it was Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer,
yes,
and
amazing
somebody else
movie.
in that movie. I have an interesting pick, but it's not going to be. It's not a. I don't think it'll beat it. So I'll
And just
yeah.
and just to back up my claim, I know it's not the most popular movie. I know it's not may not be a lot of people's choices or anything, but yes, Nicholson and Pfeiffer, amazing screen chemistry together. The way the movie starts, it just gets you hooked from the beginning. I mean, I think it's based on is it based on a Stephen King book? Maybe not.
I don't know.
But the way it starts, it just has some good atmosphere. It's like Nicholson is just driving through like the storm almost. His car breaks down like by this road by a bunch of like wooded areas. He stops to like fix a tire or something like that. And then like this wolf comes out of nowhere and bites him, and then like the camera pans up or something and shows that it's a full moon, and then like fades to black, and like next morning him waking up, and then as the days go by, like you slowly start seeing signs of like him turning, like he starts getting hairier, he starts getting like more ferocious and animalistic, and it's just cool because it's kind of like a realistic, to me it was like a realistic look at this werewolf genre without being
Yeah.
outlandish or like cartoonish. But like, if like a normal guy got bit and this were to happen, how he would slowly turn and stuff. Kind of
It is.
like I'm gonna compare it to, I'm gonna say it's like the werewolf version of the movie The Fly.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like a very realistic kind of experience as to how this guy would turn into a werewolf in real life.
It's
And
also
then
like
the makeup when he turns is just pretty cool too.
you got Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer at like their top. Jack Nicholson had a long peak to his career, but this is like 94, 93. Like they were A-list stars making a werewolf movie, which you don't really see today. I'm going to go back and revisit. The only reason that I didn't have that as my number one was because I haven't seen it in so long that I didn't really have the confidence to back it up. Anyone want to steal the werewolf movie? Yeah,
Tough category.
I didn't think so. Tough category. My pick, I had Underworld, I don't know if you guys have seen Underworld. It's like a vampire versus
good.
werewolves movie.
Mhm.
More of an action flick, but great effects. I saw that in the theaters. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember liking it. Great action. It has like this iconic scene where the lead character, who's this woman, she has like an Uzi or two guns, and she like does a spin on the floor while shooting the floor to fall through it. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
You remember that scene?
Or something like
That's
that.
that's
Yeah.
a good movie. That's one of those like early aughts movies that's been forgotten about, but
Yeah.
it had two decent sequels. The effects were really good for the time. The visual
Great.
effects.
Yeah.
The story was cool because it's like this lineage of vampires versus this lineage of werewolves. So it was a different take on the whole genre. It was awesome.
Isn't that where the famous phrase came? The liking.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
Yeah. There was a
yeah.
like,
And it was that time when like a lot of like comic books and graphic novels were being adapted before the whole like franchising of films began with Marvel. It was like the pre-era to that.
Yeah.
So it was like 04, 05, 06 when a lot of those movies were coming out, like Hellboy and stuff like that. Just
Dan used to say it as like a slur, like like herb or whatever, like like a put down. Be like liking.
They were kind of inferior in the movie, but
Yeah.
to your point, Pedro, the effects of that movie were really good. And I think effects back then were just kind of like going upward, like the quality was just getting better and better. But yeah, Underworld. People forgot
Scott,
about
I know
that one.
you're itching with a werewolf movie. Werewolves in London, something. I see you twitching over there.
What did you have, Scott?
I actually had a colon and nothing.
Nothing for werewolves?
No, I did not.
Wow.
I didn't want to put a movie that was not going to do it justice.
Well, there aren't that many, to be honest.
Right.
Maybe the original Wolfman. But yeah, not really. Okay. Next up is you, Scott.
Yes, it is. So, well, out of every category, I was going to go with Aliens, and I selected Super 8.
Damn, that's a good pick. That's a good pick, Scott. That's a good pick. I didn't think of that one, but so Alien is one of those categories where there's just like a couple of masterpieces in there.
Yeah.
And I do love Super 8, but here's the thing too, because I would challenge this, but you can also challenge my challenge, and therefore, because there's so many good movies.
I think we should only do like one steal per category. I mean, unless people are really like going at it, because it's going to be hard if you do like a steal and a steal like we did before, because then you just run out of people to judge. So I think if someone calls it, like if you want to wait for Pedro to get back, if someone calls it and like says, okay, I'm going to steal this one or whatever, just so there's not like people stealing. Unless you guys want to go crazy with it and just do steal.
Wait, what happened? Is there a rule change?
No. We're debating. So, so to recap, while Pedro was away for a second, Scott picked Alien, the category. He picked Super 8 as his film. I was like, should I challenge? But then I hesitated because then it's such a top-heavy category that even if I challenge with something really good, you or Paul could also challenge with something even better, potentially, or arguably better. So I think I'm gonna leave out. I'm gonna leave Scott's pick, Super 8. It is a good pick, so I can't even be mad at that. So
But remember, there's only one round left after this, so
no.
Right. If you don't start using your stuff, you might.
You only got two. You got two steals. Only 2 rounds left.
Okay, I'm gonna steal. Also, you guys can steal. So I don't know if it's like whoever raises their hand up first or what. So okay, I'll steal this one. Sorry, Scott.
I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna use my steal on your steal. I'm gonna steal your steal. That doesn't say
If it's
that
better,
anywhere.
hey, if you got something better, you can. But Bruno, I think since you called it first, you should get the right to steal
You
first.
you do your steal, and then I'll do
So-
mine.
I'm gonna go with The Thing, John Carpenter, 1982. This is just probably my favorite movie of all time, or my favorite horror movie of all time.
Damn.
I mean, it's a classic. I don't know what there needs to be said. The practical effects are iconic in this movie. Till this day, they're revered and copied. The story is fantastic. It's a bunch of scientists isolated in the Antarctic, and then like this alien sort of infiltrates them and is a copycat and starts killing them off one by one. I mean, it's a hallmark of horror. It's just
And you see it all over. I mean, it's a horror icon. You see it done all the
Yeah.
time. You see the Thing creature being played across the board in so many different shows and movies. I that was my first pick, was The Thing. I mean, you go with the namesake Alien, right? Alien or Aliens.
that was my
another good
alternate.
one
Yeah,
too. But to me, The Thing changed the game. I think it was like an amazing. Faculty was another great Alien movie. Cloverfield, Attack the Block. There's so many of them. This category is a tough one, but I think Thing is like it's a pretty good pick.
Yeah,
it's
Bruno,
a deep category.
I vote for you. I vote for your steal.
Yeah.
And the reason I vote for your steal is because I had Aliens as my alien movie, and it's one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of all time. But the reason I'm not even going to go with my favorite movie or anything is because I personally don't consider it, and I hate it when people call it a horror movie, because I don't consider that movie a horror movie.
Yeah.
But since
don't
we're on,
know.
and I know since we're not, it doesn't have to be horror for this draft. I'd still like the Halloween theme, and I want to keep it with, in terms of
Pure.
scarier, The Thing was definitely scarier to me.
Wait, you don't consider Aliens a horror movie?
No, it's not. It's a sci-fi.
It's an action, more
It's a-
action
it's a
movie. but it is
sci-fi
scary
thriller.
as hell.
If you're talking about the original one, I'm talking about the original. If you're talking about like the sequel, Aliens, that's an action movie.
Oh, you're
You're
talking
talking
about
about
the
your-
first one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original Alien. That's more of like a psychological sci-fi thriller to me. Then
So we're going
think
for like
that's horror.
scary movies.
well, not necessarily. I'm just saying like that's just I'm just explaining the reason why why I'm not gonna put Alien, the movie Alien, into the mix and try to steal Bruno's steal, because even though it's my favorite movie, I think The Thing is more a natural horror movie than Alien is.
I have
See,
my
for me, it would have been a tough pick between The Thing and Alien. I mean, The Thing I think is
Yeah, that's-
ultimately better, but Alien, I consider Alien like a monster horror movie, like an alien horror movie, and
Yeah, I do
it's
too.
top notch.
I think the sequels, you could make an argument for that, but not with the original one. But that was just my take on why I'm not stealing a steal.
Fair enough.
I have my steal of my steal.
Do you want to steal Bruno's steal, Scott?
Oh, I do. I do want to steal. I want to take, I guess I can say, I want to take away Bruno's steal. And my takeaway of Bruno's steal, yes, I am taking it away. And I'm going to take it away with Signs.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Is that an alien movie?
It is,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely an alien movie.
it's an alien
Oh,
movie.
man.
but you can't steal my steal.
Oh,
Yeah, you can.
oh,
Why can't he?
I just did. You witnessed it and it happened.
I did that to Paul. I did that to Paul in the first round.
You witnessed it, you experienced it, you saw it happen. It happened.
Okay. All right. It's so, but okay. So how does the voting work then? I think that
I
was the
feel like
issue
we're
we had
playing Uno
before.
right now. got
Oh,
reversed.
Yeah.
I automatically get the 3 points. That's happened. I stole it back. That's it. No.
Well, I don't
Well,
know
we
about
still got to vote for it though. Is Signs better than The Thing as the aliens category?
I
That's
would
the
say
question.
I would say it's a better title in general. It's
Are we taking a vote on this? Paul, you want to take you? What's your thoughts on
Look, Signs had the iconic, like the alien doing the Bigfoot stance, looking back, and when he walked between the two alleys at the kid's birthday party, that was like that
Damn,
shook me.
I'm gonna be 100% honest right now. I've never seen Signs,
You never seen Signs?
No.
and
Wow.
I swear I was close to watching it this week because it showed up for me on one of the apps. But
Excuse me.
Paul,
Excuse me.
you just gave it away for me, and I'm kind of like, I didn't even know it was an alien movie. That would have been
Oh,
Well, no. If you watch the trailer, you'll see right away. It's an alien movie.
it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Come on. Come on.
For me,
Are
it's
we-
a tough pick, but I'm gonna have to go with The Thing. I think that's like that's I can't even put it in words. I think it's a
All right.
great horror movie.
In that case, I'm going to retract my steal, and Bruno, you can keep it.
Okay.
Are we gonna allow him to retract the steal?
You cannot retract the steal. You lose the steal.
Yeah, we only move forward. We only move forward in this. So you're down to one more steal, Scott. That was a good attempt. I can't.
That was a good attempt.
I personally can't vote for Signs because I haven't seen it. And like I said before, you stole. I don't think anything can top The Thing as a alien horror movie. So
what you can do is watch the movie, and then we can go back and see if you want to retract your vote.
Yeah.
The mail-in vote.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I'm full of ideas. All right, next.
But Signs, man, you had Joaquin Phoenix, you had Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
good movie.
It was a really good movie. I just think The Thing is just like, it's a culture classic.
And it means a lot because I actually saw it.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, Paul, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna have to just take a quick point on this one. I hope I'm going with Demons, and I'm going with The Exorcist. I think hands down, The Exorcist is probably one of the top scariest movies ever. I watched it when I was like a kid. I'll never forget it. It stuck with me my whole life, and it's just one of those movies that I think it's one of the scariest movies ever. I put it right up there. So I'm going with Demons, Exorcist. And there's a lot of good ones here, like Nightmare on Elm Street.
well, don't name them all right now because someone might try to steal it from you. Not me though, because that is my pick. I consider that.
Paul,
Hold up.
Paul, keep going. Keep naming them. Go
Oh
ahead.
wait, family corner on
Keep
this
going.
one, like a good family movie, like for Demons, would have been Beetlejuice. If it was like just family corner style. But yeah, for me, Exorcist.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is
yeah.
Demons.
Is it?
Yeah. Shout out to Beetlejuice. I just saw Beetlejuice last weekend, and I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to follow up with these characters all these years later, and I don't know.
Doesn't beat the original, but it was pretty good.
Of course not. You can't compare things coming out now to classics, but as long as it's enjoyable and it continues on the tradition, I think it does it. So yeah, shout outs to that. And what I was saying was I'm not gonna steal because that was my choice, and I think that's the scariest movie of all time. So
yeah, that was up there on my list for sure. And I did have a different number one pick. I'm not gonna challenge that though, because Pedro just said that was his number one pick as well. So I'm gonna Scott. You respect Paul's choice here?
And if you do respect, we can start naming honorable mentions because it's such a broad category.
I want to confirm, what was the release date of the film?
Oh, that was like 73 or something, right?
Okay.
All I know is my mom saw it and she was scared.
Yeah, I had it. My parents had it on VHS.
73.
There you go. I was right.
And it still holds up, man. It still holds up. That's a classic.
I have to say, I've not seen it.
Whoa.
You haven't seen it. Okay. So if you haven't seen it, and this is something, Paul, since you chose this, have you seen the original? Have you seen the original? Have you seen the director's cut? Have you seen like the extended or whatever? Because Scott, if you get a chance, if you decide to watch this,
you should watch it.
If you brave it and you watch it, You should watch the I don't know what they call it, the director's the evil cut or something, but it's something where you see the demon like show up subtly in the background throughout the movie in parts that isn't in the original one.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
So try to watch that cut.
I don't think I would want that. The less scary version I'll be okay with. I want to see how it's originally intended to see.
Bruno, what was your pick? I want to hear what your is anyone gonna challenge or before we move on?
I actually had a different movie for demons.
What'd you have?
I had The Shining.
Oh,
That's a great pick.
But I would say that's more of a ghost movie, though.
Shining is more of Madman. I was putting in Madman category.
You know what? That could be all three categories. That transcends like all three of those categories. Oh man,
that would have been a potential challenge, Scott.
Scott, you could have.
That was a good pick.
That would have been a good challenge, man.
Challenge.
Now we're moving on. Right now we're talking about honorable mentions.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I had. Scott,
you had
I had a few. I had a few. One that you mentioned, Paul. One of my favorite horror movies ever.
Yes, that is a demon movie.
My pick was going to be Hereditary, the Ari Aster movie that came out in 2018. That was probably
my number 2.
The scariest movie I've ever seen.
That was my number 2.
Great freaking movie, man. It lived beyond the hype. Not even just like scaring, like the way they did the scares was insane to me. Plus like the family drama, just like so much tension all the time. Like, whew, that scared the hell out
of me. When they brought out
that in another category.
Which one?
I don't want to say yet.
Well, okay, you might be able to steal with that.
Because this one I think is pretty clear. This is demon stuff.
Yeah.
Let me see. What was? Hold on.
And then Pedro, you're gonna love this. You want my sleeper? Fallen, that Denzel Washington movie.
Oh yeah, I do love that pick.
Oh,
love that pick.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
That movie's so good, but I was like, that's too much of like a cop movie with a demon element, but it's so freaking good, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Paul, what were you? Did you raise a question? Are we good?
No, I'm just trying to see what Hereditary was classified. Oh, okay, I got it. I'm good.
Honorable mention to 80s campy movie Night of the Demons.
Oh,
great,
I don't know that one.
Great. It's like a bunch of teenagers, 80s teenagers, go to like this haunted house. Bunch of demons come out and stuff. So, Night of the Demons.
Okay. Is it what you said? It's like
an 80s
movie?
campy.
Okay.
Campy style, like a little bit of comedy in here and there.
To me, it was Exorcist hands down, but I thought Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, that's definitely a demon movie, and I remember watching that too as a kid, and that was another one that stuck with me. The original Nightmare on Elm Street it was just amazing. It was such a good horror movie. It was like one of those complete movies. It had comedy in it, but it was like scary as hell. You know, like it was just it was a typical 80s like horror movie. You know, it was just so good.
All right, I'm up next. The categories are getting tough, and a little bit of a strategy going on here now. But I'm gonna go with Sea Monsters.
I gotta hear this one.
I think you've been hyping it up a little bit. It's not that crazy, but my pick is Anaconda, 97. Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, John Voight. It's basically a film crew out in the middle of the jungle, and this deadly giant anaconda comes out of the water and just terrorizes everybody for 2 hours. It's such a satisfying movie. The great scene with John Voight at the end when the snake wraps him up. Oh, it's so good, man. Thoughts? Yeah. Pedro's like,
it's I want to steal.
Steal.
Okay, Scott.
Steal.
Let Scott have it.
Steal. Wait, hold on. How many rounds we got left?
We're going on the last round after
This is the
Okay.
end of the third round, I think, right? Or the
of the
second?
second
Okay.
round.
This is the end of
Alright.
the second round.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll continue saying steal.
All right.
Go for it.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Scott, your
Steal.
second and last steal.
Well, all right. We won't argue about the first one. I would say my movie for sea monsters is Shape of Water.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You coming at me with that?
Okay.
I'm not.
Do you want to give your
I'm not
explanation?
convinced.
You want to give your explanation because you got to convince people that it's worth a steal.
Well, let's just say it won 4 Oscars. It
Did
had.
it?
Oh,
It did.
yes,
It did, yeah.
It did. It did. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Go ahead. I thought you were
it-
talking about the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh no.
What was it?
You didn't know we transitioned. Okay, you notice we move on to different category and Pedro went. Shape of Water won Best Achievement in Directing, Best Picture of the Year, Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. I got a nominee. Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, and Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role. That was Octavia Spencer, Richard Jenkins, Sally Hawkins, and Guillermo del Toro won for Best Directing, Achievement, and Best Motion Picture of the Year, the Academy Awards.
Wait, I don't know.
I
If
don't
saw
know,
this
man.
one or
That
not.
was a love
I'm
story.
gonna.
Is this where she doinked a fish guy?
I'm sorry. What was the?
fell in love?
Well, I'm sorry. What was
Was this the one?
What was the terminology you use? Doinked.
I'm trying to keep it PC. Is this the one? Is that the one? I don't
Doinked.
think
Yeah.
I know this one.
It's about a top secret research project facility in the 1960s. A lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with
Oh, it is.
an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity.
Where is the horror part? Where is the scariest scene in the movie?
The scary
When he
scene
doinked
is
her.
it's the creature. Everyone was.
Guys,
It's the
I'm gonna-
creature, the scary
I'm gonna-
alien creature that they were studying.
I'm gonna vote for Scott's choice because
What?
that's a really good movie, and
It
I
is a
think
good
it's
movie.
better. It's better than Anaconda by a lot, by
I
miles.
think.
Nah.
Look. I think the movie overall. I do remember watching this vaguely, and it's overall obviously a better movie, quality movie. But scary?
100%.
No way. I think Anaconda was definitely scarier than The Shape of Water. I mean, overall, I can't argue that it's not a better movie. It is definitely. But
Everyone was
horror trap,
frightened of the thing. Everyone was frightened of this creature in a high security
I mean,
government
it's got
laboratory.
it's like a gothic setting. It's got the ambience and everything. I mean, it doesn't have scares or jumps or anything like that. But I didn't think The Sixth Sense did either. So
You have to remember this
Right,
creature.
let's
Let's remember the trailer. The trailer at the very top has a rated.
hold
R.
on. So we're split right now because
Wait. Hold on.
I'm voting for
I'm looking
Scott.
at
Paul's
IMDb.
voting for Bruno.
Let's
if I
remember
understand correctly.
it's a rated R. If it's
Do you
not
guys
scary,
split the points? Are you guys going to split the
This
points?
is
then?
unprecedented territory we're in right now. I don't know.
Scott broke the game. I
Scott
think you
broke
guys
the
should. I
game.
think you guys should split
Okay.
points because
do we need?
it's a split vote right now.
Do you see this? I'm screen sharing. It says sexual content, graphic nudity,
Scott with the
Yeah.
red
I don't know
violence,
why that is.
and language. Okay.
Scott, you made your point already. I voted for you.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Let me just check one thing in IMDb. I just want to see one thing real quick, and then I'll.
And no,
All right,
and
then
I'm
cast your
leaning
vote.
towards Anaconda, but I just want to see something.
you could vote for Anaconda. They'll just split the points. That's it.
No.
All right, so
Pedro, I
Paul-
liked you better 3 seconds ago.
Paul, research what you're researching, and then the last vote will go to you if you
The
vote.
M Night movie, just to throw in that movie.
That's what
was
I
the
thought he
worst-
would say.
That's one of the worst movies I've ever seen of all time.
Yeah, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, I think like I said before, I think overall movie Shape of Water is a better movie quality, obviously. But to me, it was more of like a dark romance. I didn't see it as like a horror. I saw Anaconda more as like a horror. So I'm gonna have to split the
Right.
vote here.
Dark
I've
romance.
seen
I like
I've
that.
seen
I like that.
Anaconda like 6 or 7 times. I've seen Shape of Water once, and I'm good. That's I know it's a much better movie, but Anaconda is just a more fun movie. So okay, we'll split the points.
What do you guys think? Like 2 points each, 1 point each? What's the split?
I'm good with the 2.
It's got to be either 2
Okay.
each or 1.5 each.
Oh,
No
1.5.
halves.
That-
Let's
that
just
ha-
do.
That half might decide. That might be the final
Yeah,
deciding
that might be a
factor.
tiebreaker.
I
Give
I
'em
think
2, give 'em
2.
2. Give
Yeah,
these
yeah. I
guys
don't
2.
want to get into halves. Okay, so guys, that was the end of round
2.
2 or 3.
That was
2.
2.
Okay.
That
End
was
of round 2. And just to say, I could have stolen that, but I feel like the movies I would have mentioned, no one's seen. So I didn't.
What
want-
about
Yes.
Jaws? How come nobody said Jaws, Sea Monster?
I thought Scott was gonna pull out
How come
Jaws,
you
and
didn't
then I
say
had no
Jaws?
chance.
You could have said Jaws.
I was, but then Scott was like, so he was into the steel, man. He was like, he said steel 5 times. He was gonna take
He called it first.
He had a good
We're
one.
going
You
by
should've said
whoever calls
Should
it
have
first.
stopped the steal.
that was my strategy.
He was
and it
But to
confident.
me, I think Jaws would have beat both of them. Like if I
Yeah,
I
Jaws
thought
would've
I
beat
actually
both of them.
thought Scott was gonna pick Jaws. I had a feeling like
I'm trying to keep these picks surprisingly. I'm trying to keep you on your toes. I'm not trying to pick the movies that are obvious.
Dark
That was a pretty good
romance. I'm gonna have to look for a list of dark romance because I like the sound of that. Like that genre.
So
or the other one was Abyss too in that category.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
not
one of my
horror, though.
picks actually. That was one
Abyss
of
is
my
not a
picks.
horror movie.
I
That's just
don't
like
know. That was
that's a sci-fi adventure movie. There's no horror in that movie. Okay, remaining categories. We have witches, we have vampires,
Dun, dun.
we have evil children,
Ooh.
and then
That's
we have Mad Men, which is like kind of this category can be
It's
pretty
an open
unpredictable.
category. It's an open,
Yeah, it's
open
a little bit
category.
open. Okay, so let's reshuffle the order. I definitely do not want to go first. Like it's so.
I want to go first, hopefully, because I need to take my final points on the board. And
Okay,
I
so
feel like,
damn it. Okay, so new order. I'm first, followed
you
followed
should
by
never say
Pedro,
that.
then Scott, then Paul. So me, Pedro, Scott, and Paul. Okay. I didn't want to do
jinxed
this.
yourself, Bruno.
I did.
That's what happened to me last round. I said I didn't want to go first, and I went first.
Okay, I'm gonna go Mad Men on this one. And I'm gonna pick Silence of the Lambs with
Damn.
Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster. This
I'm
is
going
probably
for
my
a
favorite
steal.
movie of all time. Okay, so yeah, this is basically the original movie with Hannibal Lecter, the OG. Paul, what's your steal?
And trust me, it's not because I'm against your pick. It's just that I have 2 steals and I got to use them, and this is the last round. And this was one of my top like 4 categories. Mad Men. To me, Mad Men was The Shining
Oh,
Okay.
because
man.
Jack went mad in that. He was a madman
Yeah.
in that one. And The Shining to me, like, but yours, I don't know. But I think Shining. I think Shining is like that's up there. I think right up there with Exorcist. It's one of the top. I would have to say top 3, top 4 horror movies all time.
So is that your official steal?
Yeah, that's my steal. I'm going with Shining.
Steal is
Scott,
in.
are you gonna counter steal? And have we all watched both these movies?
I've seen
mean-
both. Yeah.
I actually have. This is the only category where I had 2 movies.
Are you gonna counter?
for
Don't say your movies. Just say
Oh, I wasn't going to
whether
say
you're
it
gonna
yet.
counter steal.
Count. That's a new one. Counter steal. Is that a new power?
Are
for
you or
Scott?
not?
I don't even know what that is. What is counter steal?
Do you plan to steal? No, you don't. Okay.
Oh man, I feel like I need to throw my hat in there, but both your picks are so good that it's like, what's the point of putting another third one in there? It's just gonna split the vote down even more.
How would the voting even work?
We might
then?
end up
Yeah,
with 1 point each after that.
I actually have something, and I'm looking at my choices. I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
But
let's
you're gonna
see, what-
okay. You're gonna steal.
All right, let's see what I want to use. Let's see. Dun, dun.
No, but Scott used both his steals already, or did we give him his first
Oh,
steal
that's
back?
right. He used both his steals.
You said I get a counter steal.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had used yours. Sorry,
Oh,
Scott.
okay. Oh, I'll wait for you all, and then I'll say what my other options are.
You know what? I'm not gonna question this because I'm up next and I feel confident about the next category.
So okay, but we need a tiebreaker here. Is it Silence of the Lambs or The Shining?
Sky, you vote first.
What the? I just put my microphone on one of the buttons. Let's see. I would say I actually had this under demons, so I'm going to say The Shining.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with The Shining, man. I'm sorry, man. I think they're both good picks. Once you said Silence of the Lambs, that movie had not crossed my mind, and I thought you were guaranteed to win that. But
Me too.
The Shining,
Silence of the Lambs was my
Jack
second pick. It was The
Nicholson.
Shining and Shining. Silence of the Lambs.
he was mad in that movie, man.
That-
he was
That
crazy. The guy
that's-
was mad.
that sounds
That's one
like
of the best. That's just fits Madman perfectly.
Yeah.
that feels like one of those. It feels like the moment when Jeff Probst goes, "The tribe has spoken," and he puts out the flame.
I also had American Psycho on there as my other pick.
Oh man, yeah, that's like it's like you said, man. It's a really open category.
It's a tough category.
Those were the top two categories, man. It was like aliens, madmen, and demons. I think they had a couple of good ones in there.
Can I say what my pick for that was?
Yeah.
Now that I think Paul unanimously won that one. I was gonna say Nightmare on Elm Street because I think Freddy Krueger is considered a madman, right?
Yeah, and see, that's funny because I had him
Man
on
on
demons.
he's a crazy man on a mission too. So
Because some of these cross, boundaries.
yeah, the madman category.
Yeah, they do. I also
Sorry,
had
real quick too.
All
Oh,
good
sorry.
movies.
Go
I'm gonna watch American Psycho and Fallen after sometime this week because of this.
I had a sleeper pick. This is not a grand movie or anything, but Joyride with Paul Walker.
Oh, I just saw that.
Love that movie.
Did you? That movie's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Anyway,
I
shout
had
out to
Saw.
Joyride.
Freaky was another one. Saw. And Family Corner on this one. The Nightmare Before Christmas. One of my like all-time favorite, Halloween/Christmas movies.
All right, Pedro, you are up, my man.
All right, you put the 2 points up for.
Yep, I
Scott?
awarded Paul the 2 points, and for Scott from earlier. Yeah.
Nice.
Hold on. Before we go anywhere, I just want to add up all the points. So, Paul, you have 8 points. I have 5, 6, 7 points. Pedro has 8 points. So we have a tie right here for first. Scott, you have 2 points. So it's close.
Wait, Bruno, you have 8 too because you split on that steal. You both got 2. So you have 3, 3, and 2.
No, I have 3, 2, 2. I stole somebody's pick. So that gave me 2.
He tied with Sea Monsters.
I tied Sea Monsters. I won Zombies, and then I stole Aliens. So I have 7. You and Pedro have 8. Scott is with 2.
Don't forget my pink frosted donut. Okay, I have that too. With the 2.
So it might come down to steals right now.
Yep.
Man.
All right.
All right.
And categories left, we have evil children, witches, and vampires. I believe that's it.
Damn.
Now I had the 2 movies I had for Mad Men are Fargo and Gone Girl.
Gone Girl's a good pick. That is a really good pick, actually.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a great movie.
Fargo, I don't
Fargo's
think Fargo.
excellent.
I don't know if I would put Fargo into that category though.
No, I wouldn't either. It's a great movie. But I don't think it's.
Wait, hold on, guys. Save all these honorable mentions till the end because I think if we have a tie at the end, we might need to do like a round extra category or like I don't know. We got to figure out a tiebreaker if we get there. Let's not think about that yet. But based on the 3 categories that are left, I feel like one is really tricky, and I can go for that one because I feel like there's only really one movie in that category. But if I'm drawing a blank on everything else and someone steals that from me, I'm done. So I'm gonna go for the more popular choice. I'm gonna go with vampires, and I'm gonna say The Lost Boys is my vampire movie. I feel like that movie had it all. It had its scares. It had its it had its moments. It had its good. It had great makeup. Had a great cast. Great personalities. I think it reached different audiences. It had kids. It had like the kids. It had like the teenagers. It had the adults. There was just something just cool about that movie, man. Like it was cool. Like Kiefer Sutherland, his crew, like they just added like some swag to that.
To that genre. That's true.
Yeah.
When they hung upside down in the docks.
Yeah. And it was just, when you're just watching that movie, you're just for the first time, you're kind of like you kind of don't know what to expect. And then it also had like a surprise ending. Like you don't know what to expect. Like, okay, the movie starts off like, oh, they just moved to this town. Oh, this kid is like, might join this crew of like bad boys. What are they into? Oh, it turns out they're vampires. Oh, it turns out this. It turns out that. And then, had the little surprise ending at the end on who the head vampire is and stuff. So
I'm looking at Paul's face. He's all business right now.
Yeah, Paul's going for the dub right now. So, but I feel confident with my choice. So
it's a good pick, Scott.
It's not exactly a movie you want to watch if you move with your family to California for the first time. Not exactly the welcoming film you want to watch in your home.
Every time I go to like a pier or something with like all the games
with a
and
little shorty on your arm,
the Ferris wheels and all that stuff, and I always think of that movie, man.
All right, so who is stealing, or who's anybody pulling a steal?
I would say sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire. That's a great slogan. That's apparently a tagline for that movie. Yes.
How about that, man? They knocked it out the park.
I'm not gonna steal. I in my opinion, I have a superior movie, but I don't think it's gonna win the votes. So, Paul, how you feeling?
That was my first pick. I had Blade in there, but Blade is. I'm sorry. Is anyone gonna steal?
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't think so. I think we're okay.
I had Blade as just like a toss in there because I thought Blade was an amazing vampire movie, but it wasn't really a horror movie. And the only other one that I considered, like, Lost Boys is a classic. I don't think you can beat that in vampires. But 30 Days of Night was really good too.
That is really good.
Yep. 30 Days and Nights is one of my favorites too. And Blade, to say something about Blade, I think like a year or two ago, I just saw the Blade trilogy. And I just want to say that trilogy, it lives up to this date. It doesn't feel outdated. The effects, even though it was like one of the early first Marvel movies before the whole like cinematic Marvel universe, the effects look great on it. The storyline is great. I think Blade is a very, very slept on trilogy.
All three motherfuckers always ice skate uphill. That was his famous thing. Some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill.
That underground nightclub scene is still one of the hardest, man.
Hell yeah. The third one was like, okay. The third one.
Oh, and just to add, I saw them like on 4K. So like that's how I saw them. So I guess if you saw that movie a long time ago, you didn't get like the full visual experience, but it looks great nowadays.
Okay, so we wrap. Pedro, you're awarded the 3 points. So you want to hold off on naming any of the films in the category, just in case there's a tiebreaker, because we can.
I think we just named a couple right now, right?
Yeah, my pick was Interview with a Vampire with Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and young Kristen Dunst. Also Antonio Banderas.
You should have gone for the steal with that one, man.
I didn't think I was gonna I didn't think that was gonna be a fan favorite. It's more of a serious movie, even though it's pretty gory. It's not really scary, but it's pretty violent, and it's pretty messed up. It's just a really great story.
I think it was a great movie, but I don't know where Scott would have led with this vote, but I would have still gone with Lost Boys because it's just so nostalgic, and it's like Interview with Vampire was a great movie, and again, if you look at quality of movie to movie, Interview with Vampire was a much better overall movie.
Yeah.
But nostalgia base, and when you think of vampires, and then you hear that song from the Lost Boys and all that, I would have had to vote Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to challenge. I had a feeling, but okay, we are moving on to Scott. Scott, your turn. Your category.
Real quick, just the last thing on Blade. You look at all these like Marvel movies and superhero movies and all that, like top guys. Now you've had like 2 Wolverines. You've had like a whole bunch of Superman and Batman and all that. But one of the oldest movies ever, Marvel based, was Blade, and there's only been one Blade, Wesley Snipes. That's it. They try to get all these other Blade movies off the ground, but he's the only one that made cinematic, movie for Blade.
Good series. Sequel was really good too. The third one was not very good, but
yeah.
Scott, you're up.
So what categories do we have left? I'm trying to keep track here.
We have witches and evil children.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking about which category I want to go with. Well, it's a challenging one. These are my most challenging categories, so that's why interesting that we reach the point of where we're at now. I would maybe go with Orphan for.
So you're going with evil children.
Evil children, yes.
Okay, I did not see Orphan. This was probably my hardest category. I didn't see a lot of these movies.
Orphan is from 2009. It's about a husband and wife who recently lost their baby, adopt a 9-year-old girl who is not nearly as innocent as she appears.
I'm stealing.
You're stealing.
Yeah,
Wait, you have steal. You have steals left.
I think I have one last steal. I'm gonna forget this.
Does he? I haven't been keeping track.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has one steal. Yeah, he's only stolen once.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Evil Children, The Omen.
Oh
yeah, I forgot about that. That's true.
Man,
Omen,
you know
man.
what's funny? I was gonna steal with that one.
It's a classic, man.
I'm gonna let you explain. I'm gonna let you explain and earn your vote.
At first, I was gonna go with Insidious, right? Because Insidious has but Omen is all about a cursed child, a possessed child who's the Antichrist. You can't get more horrific than that. It's like, I don't know. I never seen The Orphan, so I can't speak to that, Scott. But I have seen The Omen. It's for you, Damien.
The Orphan was pretty good. The Orphan was pretty good for a modern movie. But man, The Omen, yeah. I mean, you said it all right there. Damn.
Yeah, The Omen is. I didn't even have that. I forgot about that one, but that is the sort of all-time classic.
I had forgotten about it. I was thinking of stealing the category, and I was waiting to see if someone was gonna steal with one of the more obvious ones, so I can steal with The Omen. But now I can counter steal. I can try to steal the steal, but I don't know if you guys are. I don't know if I'm gonna get the votes for it to be better than The Omen. So
just to put, if Paul wins the steal, he gets 2 points. He'll be at 10. Pedro, you'll be at 11. So if Paul steals successfully, you're still in the lead by 1 point.
Oh, strategy time.
who's next? Paul is next. He gets the last pick.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah.
Paul
So
gets
then
the last pick.
all right. So then I'm gonna save my steal for the. What's the last category?
Witches.
Tough one.
Man, that's tough too. All right, I'm gonna use my steal right now. Then
Oh,
I'm gonna I'm gonna use my final steal right now, and I'm
This
gonna
is the
say,
man I'm worried about. The man in the shadows. When he says steal, now I'm worried.
Still locked in.
right.
Okay,
I'm
what do
gonna
you
have
got?
to say Children of the Corn for possessed
Oh.
children movies.
damn.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn, man. Why? Because the movie is literally about possessed children. A lot of them
Stephen
take
King
over
novel too, I think.
take over an entire town. Um, your
Have you
girl,
seen it?
Linda Hamilton, is
Have
in
you
it.
seen it recently?
Man, I seen it a few years ago. It's been a couple years. It hasn't been a long time, but it's been like a couple years, maybe like sometimes 6 years, like probably around 4 to 6 years ago. A young couple is trapped in a remote town where a dangerous religious cult of children believes that everyone over the age of 18 must be killed.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal too. It's not that movie terrified me for many years. My vote still goes to The Omen. I gotta do that. I think
Yeah.
it's still the superior film. So
I
yeah,
honestly haven't seen Children of the Corn in a long, long time.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid too.
At first, I thought you were talking about Village of the Damned with Christopher Reeves.
Scott,
That's similar movie, but that one came out a little later, I think. That was like a 90s movie.
Scott, what's your vote? Well, does Scott get a vote? This is his category.
I'm sorry. Is this podcast still going? I'm just trying to figure out where we are with this.
Okay, how does this work? So it was originally
So-
Scott's pick that was stolen by Paul and then stolen by Pedro.
Did I pass go and collect $200?
You still
went
got that
directly
donut,
to
man.
jail.
Did that happen yet? Or am I talking about a different game?
I think it goes to Paul if I'm the only voter. I don't want to
Well,
be
are you
biased.
the only voter, or is Scott get his
Scott, you can
vote
vote.
back
Yeah, Scott, vote.
because he was eliminated?
I'm sorry. What am I voting for?
Children of the Corn or The Omen?
I don't think Scott's seen either of these movies.
Por favor.
So okay, just give us like a blanket vote or a spiteful vote if you hold in a grudge. Put some
Me?
previous
Yeah, I mean,
previous
why do you-
injustice.
Wait,
I think
all right,
if Scott
Wait,
feels like
hold on. Which Paul did Paul not pick?
No, don't say it. Don't say it. You just got to choose between the movies. That's it.
Come on, we got to keep it moving. We're
yeah,
getting
but
late.
Yeah, we got one last pick
if he
after this.
doesn't want to, if he doesn't feel confident in casting his vote, then it should just be up to you, Bruno, since you're the only one that
Okay.
didn't steal. Do
So
you have a
it's-
confidence vote or not, Scott? I don't think you've seen either of these movies.
I cannot say I can say I've seen them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Omen. I think that's the better film. I think it holds up much better than Children of the Corn, in my opinion.
Oh, the drama, man. I wasted my last pick, and the reason I used it is because I don't feel confident about stealing the witch category.
That's the last category right now. My pick. I have no
Yeah.
choice. I'm left with witches, and I looked it up just to make sure because it was my top pick in witches, and I'm going with Hereditary. It is witch
Is
horror.
that witches?
Is it a witch
Yep.
movie?
If you look at it at IMDb, I thought it was because of her mom. Her mom was like the demonic whatever. So it's witch horror. So I'm going. If you look, you can look at IMDb right now.
I'm
That's what I
stealing.
was checking before. I was like,
Oh,
oh, I don't know.
man. Controversy right now. I'm looking it up. I'm trying to see. I don't doubt you that it says it's a Yeah, that's one of the categories, which I didn't even know that was. But I don't remember who the
But
witch
I
is then. Someone's
I
an
think it was
actual
her.
witch?
It was like her mom. The whole thing was like a satanic, like, thing
Yeah,
in
it
the
was like
background.
the
It
But
was
her
family
mom
was
was like a
involved
head
in these.
witch. But anyway, this movie to me was just like it had me on edge like the whole movie. It was very uncomfortable. You
Yep.
never felt like you could like lay back and just relax and enjoy the movie. I was always like, oh man, on the edge of my seat. There was like these little things in the background. James Wan does it really well where he hides things in the background and you don't have to focus attention on it, but you see it and you don't know if you saw it or not. And it just adds to the tension. And Hereditary did it. Um, I just think it's one of the best horror movies out there. I think it just such anxiety through the whole movie.
Anxiety is the perfect word for it to describe the feeling that movie gives you.
Yeah, and
Also,
like it didn't rely on jump scares or anything like that. It was very subtle, but it was just oh man, just so good. So good. You couldn't believe what was going on.
the movie stars Toni Collette and Gabrielle Byrne.
And she was
Yep.
also in The Sixth
She
Sense.
was great.
She's good, man. She's good.
All right, I got feel. I do all respect to Hereditary, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. But I think a better witch movie is the Blair Witch Project.
That was my second one.
Oh,
That was
I
my
think
second one.
that movie
that is so like forgotten by now. It's been
that movie changed the game from the way you promote a movie to the way you shoot a movie, um, the way you end the movie. The movie constantly teases out that these guys are being hunted by a witch, but you see it all from the handheld camera perspective that where they are lost in the woods. Lost in the woods is one of the most terrifying ideas, being lost in the darkness. They run out of food, run out of cigarettes, they're going crazy. And at the end, it's like one of the most famous reveals, of all time when one of the kids walks down the stairs and he sees their friend staring at the corner into a wall.
Now, do you remember what that means?
It means that the other girl is getting murdered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you hear the
That was
screams.
that's a really good one. I mean, that was my number two, but that was a good one. That's a really good one.
So
and remember when everyone thought when the Blair Witch Project first came out and people didn't know if it was like actual found footage or
Yeah.
not. Like that was
Yeah.
the rumor on the internet back then.
I thought
remember
it was
walking out
real
of the
for a
theater.
little bit.
Yeah.
Because it just ends. Like it just ends as if
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah, like if it was I think everyone who was a kid and didn't know any better was under the impression that that's what that was, because no one had ever seen a movie filmed like that. Handheld, bad quality.
And like non-professional actors who were just like, hey, come to the middle of the woods, go camping.
Damn. Guys, this might be the hardest choice, and it came down to the last category. And I did look it up, and Google's AI overview, the straight up answer says yes. The 2018 psychological horror film Hereditary features witches, demons, and other supernatural elements.
Yeah, the main guy, it's about a demon, but I guess the characters around that demon are witches.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, Paul, because I never thought of it like that. I just thought they were like, the family was like people who like dealt with like,
I just remember because the
just
mom,
like summoning and like doing seances and summoning things. But I guess they're
one of the
considered
scariest
witches.
parts
Yeah, it features
was like the
female
mom.
witches.
When she was in the background in one of the scenes where Toni Collette was like going through a
Bro,
life, something like that.
yeah, when
And she
when
was
they
in the
revealed
background.
they reveal that lady, like the old lady, when she first makes her on-screen appearance, and you just like just her presence scares you because she's in so many like scary movies, and she's like typecast because she's like the demon lady in all the movies. She's like, just her presence scares me. Damn,
Yeah.
Scott, you've been awfully quiet. Scott, what
Scott, you got to vote or steal.
you got to vote. No, he doesn't have steals left. This comes straight down to
Nah, he got the donut.
this comes down to his vote and my vote, and my vote could be biased.
I'm loving this excitement that every other round you still think I have a steal, but then you take it back. It's like
Yeah,
This is
I'm
when
I'm new to
I
this
thi-
game.
Oh shoot,
I,
that's right, man. He could be biased right now.
I
this
love
is
this.
winner
I love
take all,
this.
bro. This is winner take all.
Well,
If
before I give my vote, I must say that in the trailer of Blair Witch, it says BlairWitch.com. And the scary
yeah,
part is
everyone went to that website.
when you go to that website, the scary part is it takes a while. It continues to load
Is it still
and
up?
load and load and load. And then you get the surprise of Lionsgate.com.
I'm surprised that website's still up. I'm surprised
But
they
it,
didn't
wait,
crash it back with like
but
Netscape
but
and stuff.
but they made sure it was on an extra slow server to scare the crap out of you so that it surprises you with a quick load of lionsgate.com.
All right, let's bring this home.
So I
Scott,
will say,
let's have your vote.
So my vote, I have to go into my serious voice. My vote is the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, do you want to give your reasoning for that?
Have you seen both of them?
I don't want to give a reason. I'm good.
I'll take it. You don't need a reason, Scott. You're good.
So it's up to me. I'm the deciding vote. My
Dun,
vote
dun.
determines whether I win or Paul wins.
That's true.
And I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be biased about it and try to make myself win or anything. But it's such a hard choice because
Dun,
number
dun.
one, I think Hereditary is probably next to The Exorcist, the scariest movie I've ever seen. I never considered it or thought of it as having witches until now, but it's obvious that it is. And then Blair Witch Project wasn't even on my radar for this. I had the movie, my picks were I had the movie The Witch,
Me too.
and
Tied for first.
I had Suspiria, the classic Italian horror Dario Argento film. Suspiria, which I know a lot of people haven't seen, but it's an amazing movie, art house, Italian horror. But
real quick too, family horror like family whatever. Which movie? Hocus Pocus.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, and
Sabrina
Halloween
the
Town,
Teenage Witch.
Halloween
Halloween
Town,
Town,
Disney
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is tough, man, because like Hereditary is the second scariest movie I've ever seen. But
What's your final vote?
the Blair Witch Project is like that's like the genre defining movie of our times for witches.
It's a hard
Maybe not
choice.
even our times. Maybe it's changed now recently since it's a new era, but like millennium and up. Damn, man.
Yeah. What's your vote, buddy?
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm gonna have to go with Bruno because,
Damn.
and I'm not being biased. I just want to make that clear. I'm not being biased. I'm not trying to make myself win or anything, but
Mhm.
I just think that it fits. It's a better fit for the category. And like
I
I said,
agree
you know,
100%.
like I think
I'm not
Aliens
being
is my
biased.
favorite movie and the best alien movie ever made, but I still would have voted for The Thing.
Okay, that wraps up the draft.
So can you add up the final
as you
tallies?
alluded to,
We may have
yeah,
calculated this
I have
wrong.
the final tally. So in fourth place, we have Scott with the 2. And
It's the final tally.
a donut is coming your way. It should arrive in 2 to 3 business days.
Thank you.
Third place is me with 9 points. Then comes Paul with 10 points and Pedro with 11 points.
That was close too.
Really, really close. It did come down to the steals, only being worth 2, which I think works. But also, it's really cool just to sort of talk about a lot of these movies. I like how Hereditary came up twice, but didn't actually win, but challenged both times, seriously. And then
When
just
did it come up? What was the other category it came up for?
I think
brought
Demons
it
or something.
Demons. It lost to The Exorcist.
Wow.
Now, real quick, honorable mentions that none of us brought up in any of these categories. Get Out, Sinister. Sinister is a crazy movie. Like, I'm surprised no one brought that up. Midsommar,
Yeah, Midsommar was a letdown. I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
What
Nah.
category would you put Get Out in?
That's that we didn't really have
Like Mad Men.
Yeah, I guess. That's
Like
why I
the
was
Yeah.
trying to think like psychological more. It Follows was another great one no one brought up. The
Oh,
Ring,
I love that.
Psycho, another classic.
Yeah,
These
I
are
guess
all great movies that we didn't bring up.
The Ring could have been
Sleeper for
Demons.
Evil Children, The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah.
man.
That was my
Little
pick.
evil bastard. Dropped him.
And
Babadook.
my sleeper pick for Mad Men, even though it's not a Mad Man, it's a Mad Woman, Misery.
Oh yeah, I thought about that too. That movie's tough to watch, man. Ugh.
That's
Yeah.
anxiety also, man. That's anxiety
Yeah.
driven. So.
And then there was
tough
like
to
a whole
watch.
nother category of like fun horror movies, like Happy Death Day, Freaky. I think you mentioned one before too, Bruno. I forgot which one you said.
Yeah, there
But
was
that's like a whole nother category.
I mentioned, yeah, and then there's other ones. I mentioned Fallen, which is really a cop movie, but he's chasing a demon that
Yeah.
kind of like jumps into different bodies. So there's different like offbeat categories that are kind of hybrid, like Signs and The Sixth Sense, kind of like hybrid films. But yeah, let's wrap it there. It's getting late. We're running long. This was mad
So you want to
fun.
finish the podium? You said Scott had a deuce.
Oh yeah, my bad. So third place is myself with 9 points. Second place is Paul with 10, and first place is Pedro with 11. So really close finish there. Everybody happy?
I'm
was
very
close, man.
happy. I
It
look
did-
forward to get my donuts in 2 business days.
It
Thank you.
did come down to the steel, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
We'll definitely do another draft maybe for the holiday season with Christmas movies. But in the meantime, we'll catch you guys on the next episode of The Real Rundown. Please like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you soon. Peace.